Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayana Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirahe
Tato Jayamudirahe
Nastaprayeshva Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiti
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiti
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Nanda Gopakumara
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya
Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 27, Text number 2. 3:27:2. Sa esa. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Sa esa yarhi pa prakritir.
Saesha yarhi prakritir.
Sa esa yarhi prakritir.
Saesha yarhi prakritir.
Gunesva abhi visajate.
Guneshva vivisajyate.
Guneshva abhi visajate.
Guneshu abhivisajyate.
Ahan kriya vimuda atma.
Aham kriya vimudatma.
Ahan kriya vimuda atma.
Aham kriya vimudatma.
Karta asmiti abhimanyate.
Karta asmi iti abhimanyate.
Karta asmiti abhimanyate.
Karta asmi iti abhimanyate. Saesha yarhi prakritir.
Sa yahi prakritir.
Guneshu abhivisajyate.
Gunesva abhivishyate.
Aham kriya vimudatma.
Ahan kriya vimudatma.
Ta asmi iti abhimanyate.
Karta asmiti abhimanyate.
Saesha yahi prakriti.
Saesha yahi prakriti.
Guneshva abhivishyate.
Gunesva
Abhivishyate.
Aham kriya atma
Aham kriya vimudatma.
karta abhimanyate.
Karta
Smriti
asmiti abhimanyate.
abhimanyate.
So, that very living entity,
That very living entity.
Esa,
Esa.
this,
This.
Yarhi,
Yarhi.
when,
When.
Prakriti
Prakriti.
of material nature,
Of material nature.
Guneshu,
Guneshu.
in the modes,
The modes.
Abhivisajate,
Abhivisajyate.
is absorbed,
Is absorbed.
Ankriya,
Aham kriya.
by false ego,
By false ego.
Vimuda,
Vimuda.
bewildered,
Bewildered.
Atma,
Atma.
the individual soul,
The individual soul.
Karta,
Karta.
the doer,
The doer.
Asmi,
Asmi.
I am,
I am.
Iti,
Iti.
thus,
Thus.
Abhimanyate,
Abhimanyate.
he thinks. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhu ki jai. When the soul is under the spell of material nature, the false ego, identifying his body as the self, he becomes absorbed in material activities, and by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. Purport. Actually, the conditioned soul is forced to act under the pressure of the modes of material nature. The living entity has no independence. When he is under the direction of the Supreme Personality Godhead, he is free. But when under the impression that he is satisfying his senses, he is engaged in sense gratificatory activities. He is actually under the spell of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Prakriti Kriyamanani, one acts according to the particular modes of nature he has acquired. Guna refers to the quality of nature. He is under the quality of nature, but he falsely thinks that he is a proprietor. This false sense of proprietorship can be avoided simply by engaging oneself in devotional service. Under the direction of the Supreme Lord, or his bona fide representative Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita was trying to accept for himself the responsibility for killing his grandfather and teacher in the fight. But he became freed from the proprietorship of actions when he acted under the direction of Krishna. He fought, but he was actually freed from the reaction of fighting. Although in the beginning, when he was non-violent, unwilling to fight, the entire responsibility was upon him. That is the difference between liberation and conditioning. A conditioned soul may be very good and act in the mode of goodness, but still he is conditioned under the spell of material nature. A devotee, however, acts completely under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Thus, his action may not appear to be of very high quality to the common man, but the devotee has no responsibility. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Dhananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namo Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitamascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagathe Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Namami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Babre. Let's speak in front of Prabhuji. I request Jugal Kishore Prabhu and all the Vaishnavas assemble on the screen here. Please give me a blessing so I can speak Krishna Katha, glorify Srimad Bhagavatam for my purification, and for your for your desire. So, Vande Guru Ishavatan Isham Ishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Chatat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samgekam. Offer my humble obeisances to my Siksha Guru, my spiritual Diksha Guru, and all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees of the Lord Shri Krishna. I offer my obeisances unto all the Krishna himself, all the incarnations of Krishna. I give my humble obeisance unto Krishna's Shakti, all the energies, and Krishna's manifestations, all his manifestations, and also is none other than Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I offer my humble obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchmahatattva and all his associates. In this verse, we're reading the understanding material nature. So in this verse, Lord Kapila is explained to his mother Devhuti about how the material nature works. So it says that anyone, when living entity falls into material world, they get conditioned. Just like water is very pure in the state, but when it touches the mud ground, it becomes muddy, right? It becomes muddy. So similarly, when we come into material world, we automatically become conditioned, is by default, is a nature. And another example is given that if you are jump into ocean, then of course we'll get wet. Do you think so? We'll be dry? We will get wet, right? So similarly, when we are in the material nature, we will get conditioned and we will become under the controls of three modes of material nature automatically. But there is also a way to escape this material nature too. So everybody comes here with something in their mind to enjoy, to become a master. Prabhupada here says in purport that In this verse, it says that translation that when the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, identifying his body as the self, he becomes absorbed in the material activities. And by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he's a proprietor of everything. This is the opposite of our real dharma. Our dharma is Jivera Swarpa Krishna Nitya Das. We are servant of Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu says, Gopi Bharatu Padakamalayor Das Dasanam Das. We are servant of a servant of a servant of a servant, and it goes on. But here in this verse, what happens? When we are conditioned, we think that we are master. We want to be false ego. He thinks that he is a proprietor of everything. So it's the opposite. I'm master of everything. Everything is serve me, right? There is a mentality comes. So there's in Gujarati there's a verse, Hum karu, e paramatma, swanno bharti kon jane. It means there's a dog puppy is walking under the cart, and is just walking, but the dog thinks that I'm carrying the entire weight. I'm lifting the whole weight, and he's walking nicely, but he thinks that I'm lifting the weight, but the cart is moving, right? But dog thinks I'm doing it. So there is a mentality of the material world that we think that we are doing, but we are not doing. Whatever we have is given by Krishna. Whatever we are suffering because of our karma, right? So but if you take devotional service, then we can escape. Now here, one time, first time when Prahlad Maharaj came to this Hiranyakashipu, first time, he was 5 years old, and Hiranyakashipu says that time, he just said, what do you know? Tell me something you know about anything you know. Prahlad Maharaj says, Shri Prahlad Uvacha, Tat sadhu mani asuravarya dehinam, sada samudavigna, dhyam asadgrahat, hitva atma patam griham andakupam, vanam gatum yad adharim harim ashreta. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that what I have learned from my spiritual master is that when we identify ourselves with this body, Dehina, when we identify ourselves with the body, and when we think that me and mine, this is my possessions, my relatives, my friends, my, right? Then we are not doing any justice to our real dharma. We are ignoring our real dharma, the soul, but then we become anxiety. We come into anxiety. Sada samudha vigna. We becomes always stay in anxiety. So Prahlad Maharaj says that, Asura Varya, the best of king, demon, best of demon, you should go to Vanam Gato, go to one, like specifically Prabhupada says, Vrindavan, Dhama, Mathura. And then what do you do? Take the shelter, Dharim Ashrayeta, take the shelter of Lord Hari, right? Then Hiranyakashipu started laughing, like small baby speaks something, So he started laughing, and he's telling the two sons of Suklacharya, what's his name? Masanda and Amarka. Then he's telling that, what do you make sure there is some enemies coming here, Vaishnavas coming to your school and doing brainwashing these our kids. You have to give special attention that, this is not good. He's learning something. Everybody's laughing. Then he goes to school, and these two teachers is telling that, where do you learn all these things? We are not teaching you all these things. Then this is why you're talking about enemy. We are about our enemy. Then Prahlad Maharaj says that enemy and friends is all related to the body. We are spirit soul, right? Then he gives some more teachings to both the Amarka, both the two sons of Shuklacharya. Then anyway, I'm gonna fast forward. After few days or some time, again Prahlad Maharaj comes to Hiranyakashipu dressed nicely, and this time Hiranyakashipu having sit on his lap, and he's so much lovingly father, right, kissing his head, very lovingly have Prahlad Maharaj sit on his lap. And now he's telling this time, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad, what did you learn from your teacher? He didn't say that, what did you learn? What do you know? What did you learn from your teacher? Mrs. Son of Shuklacharya. And this time Prahlad Maharaj says, Shri Prahlad Uvacha. You can recite with me. This is a very famous verse, right? Shavanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Arjnam Vandam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu Bhakti She Navalakshana Pita Bhagavati Yada Tan Manyaditam Uttamam. So Prahlad Maharaj this time says, Father, not father, but 9 devotional service, Navda Bhakti, hearing about the Lord, Vishnu, speaking about the Lord, chanting, thinking about the Lord, right? Thinking, then serving him, become a friendship with him, and then all these 9 bhakti he explains and say, whoever knows this, who knows everything. He's the most learned person, right? Now this time Hiranyakashipu. So think about Hiranyakashipu's situation too. He has conquered not only this earth, all 3 planets. He is everybody. He thinks that he's a master of all 3 planets. When he raised the eyebrow, the Devi Devata, Deva also runs and do work for him, right? Obey his instruction by raising his eyebrow. So he thinks he's a master. And now his own son is telling that you are on the bodily conception of the life. So he gets very angry and he throws the Prahlad Maharaj from his lap. Just like that. This is the material nature. Material nature means if you don't obey my instruction, then you are my enemy. You know, you are going against me, you are my enemy. It doesn't matter you're my son or my own family members. You know, Kans was driving chariot and Devaki, right? The wedding. The moment he heard that from the sky that Devaki's son will become your dad, what did he do? He wanted to kill Devaki right away. He did not realize his own sister is loving her so much, and now she just got married, and he wants to kill her. So this is the mentality of the bodily conception of life. When we in the bodily conception of life, we become very possessive about me and mine, you know. And then, so here Hiranyakashipu throws Prahlad and tells his 2 sons of Shuklacharya, kill him. He's our enemy. Is like if one limb is one part of the body is bad, then it's good to cut that body, right? So he gives analogy also. And these 2 sons of Shuklacharya also, yeah, there's sandalwood. He's spoiling our forest of sandalwood. Now he's talking about Krishna. He's spoiling the life for the life, right? So this is the mentality. And then they're trying to, then these 2, then Hiranyakashipu said, why, how do they know these 2? Where you're not doing a job? Where are they learning all these things? Then these 2 sons of Shuklacharya, they said that they got scared. They said, no, we never taught him this thing. We're teaching him all the good stuff. I don't know we don't know where they're getting, where he's learning all these things. You can ask him. Then Hiranyakashipu asked him that, Prahlad, where are you learning this thing? Where are you getting all these things? Now Prahlad says 3 verses. his response to. So first time his verse was go to one and do Harinam, you and bodily conceptual life. Second time he says that do bhakti. And if you do bhakti, then you are most learned person. And now he's going to speak 3 verses, 3 verses. And the first verse he says that, let me read here too. I think 7th canto, right? So in the 7th canto, so Shri Prahlad Vacha. Now this third answer. Matirna Krishna Parata Satova Mito Avipade Tagriya Vattanama Adanta Gobir Vishatanta Mishra Puna Charvita Charvanana. So Prahlad Maharaj says that Adanta Gobir Vishatanta Mishra. When person comes in material world, they are engaged so much into the sense enjoyment. Adanta Gobir, uncontrolled senses, like they want to eat anything, uncontrolled tongue. They want to use their genital, uncontrollable senses, sense desire, right? Everything uncontrollable. Still, they're not happy. And what Prabhupada says, Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram, and they open their door to Tamishram, the 26 hellish planet. One of the planet name is Tamishram. So he said, open the door to the Tamishram, hellish planet. And Puna Sarvita Charanam. And they're doing the same thing again and again and again and again. They're not remembering this thing that is bad for them, but they keep on doing, achieving a chute, doing the same thing. And was a Matina Krishna Parata Sutova Mito Abhipadaya Grihavattanama. When living entity is so much having uncontrollable sense desire, then by telling of other or by their own efforts, they don't understand what is good for them. If you tell somebody, this is not good for you, chant, then they say, no, I can't. Prabhu say, wife says to husband, chant, chant, chant. And husband say, can't. He says cannot 3 times, but he cannot chant, right? So this is a position of, again, uncontrolled senses. Then next verse, Prahlad Maharaj says again, this is very nicely, Nate vidu swa artha gatim hi Vishnu Durasyaye bahir artha manina andayata andhaye apaniyamanas te apisha tantram urudamni badha. It means Prahlad Maharaj this time says that swa artha. What is swa artha? To worship Vishnu. So swartha katim hi Vishnu. Our Vasudeva Paragati, our ultimate goal of life is to attain Krishna's love Godhead, right? Vasudeva Parodharmo, Vasudeva Paragati. This nice verse comes, right? Vasudeva Para Yoga, Vasudeva Paramakha, Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakha, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Para Kriya, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapa, Vasudeva Parodharmo, Vasudeva Paragati. Everything means for Vasudeva. Again, Deva Narayana Anga, Narayana Paraloka, Narayana Pramakha, Narayana Parayoga, Narayana Param Tapa, Narayana Param Jnanam, Narayana Paragati. Paragati, our gati is to in Vishnu, but here Prabhupada says, Nate vidu, because for these kind of people, they don't know what is artha is. Durasya bahir artha amanina. They are trying to find the happiness outside. Manina, they try to find the jewel, manina, outside, but not inside. Right? Not the swartha, but they do bahir artha. Andayata andhair upaniyamanas. Now, because the person who is enjoying uncontrolled senses is led by the person who is also into the uncontrolled senses. So blind man leads blind man, right? Blind man leads blind man. So this is a position. Ete apisha tantrum urudamni bada. So this is a verse here. Te apisha tantrum urudamni bada, and they get entangled into these modes of material nature, and control comes into control of three modes of material nature, and they get bound, very tightly bound. Uru damni kata, uru damni bada. Uru means having very strong, damni means rock, and bada means bound. They get bound very tightly in these um, three modes, and they don't know how to even escape. They get so much entangled, they don't even know how to come out of it. So it says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So this Jeev is going into the cycle Brahmande Brahmite. Sometimes they take birth on this earth, sometimes they take birth on the upper planets, sometimes they take birth in the lower planets, sometimes they become a demigod, sometimes they become man, woman, man, or sometimes they become serpents, trees, aquatics, or devotee. It's just going on, right? But then devotee means, again, when they get somehow by the mercy of Krishna or Vaishnava or the providence or time, they come in the contact of devotee, and that is the time their life begins. And then Bhakti Lata Bij, they receive the seed of Bhakti Lata. So next verse is, Prahlad says that thing. So now see what Prahlad says. Prahlad in third verse says, Nai sammati stavat purukrama angrim sparshati anartha apagamo yadarthe mahi isam pada rajo abhishekam niskinchana na vrinita yavat. So here Prahlad Maharaj says that for these people, the lotus feet of Lord Urukrama Angri is not possible. But if they mai isam pada rajo abhishekam nishkinchananam na vrinita yavat, if they take the dust off from the lotus feet of the devotee, pure devotee of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, take this dust and take a bath, abhishekam, take a bath. And what is devotee? This devotee has nothing to do with this material world. Those devotees, these devotees are pure devotee. They have nothing to do with this world. They're not, their only object is to give Krishna, give Bhakti Lata Bij, bring fallen soul, to bring them closer to Krishna. So when they meet this type of devotee, take the dust of the lotus feet from them, take the bath, and then their life will be successful. So here Prahlad says, now these are three verses, right? So first verse, Prahlad says that you are in the bodily conception, my dear king of demon, go to one and then take shelter of Krishna. Second time he says Navda Bhakti, do 9 devotional service. Third time he says 3 verses. Then he says that Matina Krishna Parata Satova, right? Then he said that you are in the uncontrolled senses desire will take you to the lead you to the hellish planet. Then he says that Anda blind man leads blind, because you get so much entangled that you forget what is good for you. You're looking for the Bahir or Tamarina. You're looking for the happiness outside in the material world, but there is no happiness. It's like falling down into the blind well and looking for the water, dark, blind well and looking for the water, right? So that is what he said. And then he said that, but yeah, there's one chance, there's one hope is there. If you take the shelter of devotee, take the dust from the devotee's lotus feet, take their blessing, then you can be saved. Now, think about his father's situation here. He is very angry already. He threw him, and now he's telling these 3 verses. He's telling that, king of demon, take shelter of devotee. If you want to benefit yourself, take shelter of devotee. No, you are in the Vimuda stage. Then of course, I'm gonna fast forward. He gets angry, he orders to kill him. Then we know what happens. They try to kill him, throw him from the mountain, put him under the elephants, give him a poison, throw him under the poisonous snake. But Prahlad Maharaj had a worse situation actually. Our situation is very nice. We have temple, we have devotee association, we have Bhagavatam, we have all the favorable situation. But Prahlad Maharaj had no favorable situation. He was surrounded by the devotees, not devotees, demons, Rakshasas, Asura. They wanted to kill him because he was chanting Krishna's name. They wanted to punish him because he was against his father's will. So his situation was not favorable, but still he was situated so fixed, right? That so even if we think sometimes that our situation is not good, then we should think about Prahlad Maharaj's situation, right? That he was in most unfavorable situation. Sita Maya was very unfavorable situation. She was surrounded by all the Rakshasas, and they keep on telling her, glorifying Rakshas, Ramana. And she's a chaste woman, but they glorifying Ravana, marry Ravan, completely brainwashing. But look at her situation, completely unfavorable situation. But she was completely fixed into the Ram consciousness, right? So here we can learn from Prahlad that how to be fixed in our sadhana when the things are not favorable to us. Sometimes somebody says something, we get offended. Why? Somebody do something, somebody chastise good devotee for our benefit, and we take them wrong, take them wrong. Oh, why did he say that thing? But he's telling us good thing. Here Prahlad says, take the dust of the devotee if you want to progress, right? Mahaprabhu says two things if you do. What he says? Vaishnava Seva, Prabhu kahe, Vaishnava Seva Nama Sankirtana, Dui Kara Siddha Pabe, Sri Krishna Charana. So if we do two things, the Vaishnava Seva, serve devotees, and take name of the holy name of the Lord, then what happens? We get the lotus feet of the Lord. Again, do we have time? I can say one more verse, couple more verse. Are we done? Done? Continue. So now, coming back to Prahlad Maharaj, he would not die because of the situation. He was very fixed in Krishna. So when we are fixed, we get the power, we get empowerment. So you got empowered by Vishnu. He was completely protected by Vishnu. Now, these two sons of Suklacharya says, okay, we can, Hiranyakashipu got very annoyed. He said that he has some power more than me. He's not dying. I think then he felt very bad. Then he could not show his face. Then his two sons of Suklacharya says, don't worry, my king, my dear king, he's still a young boy, we'll teach him, and then when he grows, he'll be fine. So he goes back to the school, again, try to brainwash him, right? Try to teach him in that time, real stuff. The dharma, artha, kama, okay? Earn money, hook or crook. Enjoy your senses, doesn't matter, no rules, regulation. That is our dharma, Our enemy, kill our enemy. Anybody don't follow me, follow us, kill them. We are the masters. Again, perfect words, we are the masters. Now, Prahlad Maharaj, what he did, he started preaching other sons of demons, Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam. So he started teaching in the break time. We have very limited time. Our life is very short. Human life is very rare to get. We are into the entangle. Don't waste our time, right? Chant Krishna's name. Then he says, Mugdasya, one verse I like this instruction. Then he talk about the importance of the human life. He also tells that how our life is too short. So if you look at, he gives analogy that 50 years goes in sleep. The people who want to be really, really sense gratifier, they want to sleep a lot. You know, they want to sleep 12 hours, 11 hours, 10 hours. They want to sleep, sleep, sleep. Sleep is required for body, but they want to sleep more. 50 years goes in. Then Prahlad says, Mugdasya balaye kaishore Ridato yati vimsati. Mugdasya balaye kishore. Balaye, first 10 years goes in the young, very infant, right? Balaye, when they are very young age. And Kaishore Kridato, Kaishore Kridato, in the Kumara age, young age, they want to play with other friends. And Yati Vimsati, this is how the 20 year goes. So 10 year goes in very young, and the first second 10 year goes in playing Balay Keshore, Kridato Yati Vimsati. Then 20 years, Jarai Grasta Dehasya Yati Akalpasya Vimsati. It means the 20 years, last 20 years, when the person becomes very old, they cannot do their own regular stuff. They cannot sit properly, they cannot walk properly, they cannot sleep properly, their body is filled with the kapha, pitta, vayu, they cannot see properly, they cannot even eat properly, they cannot do anything properly. So what to talk, the 20 years goes in that. So 20 plus 20, 40. 50 goes in sleep, 90. 10 years goes in money, earn money. So where is the time? Prahlad Maharaj says, where is the time? We don't have time. From Prabhu says many times, Prabhu says, gives my example many times. We don't have time. We're running out of time. Whenever it says time, I think about it. And yes, then I remember this verse. We don't have time. But we are so stuck in this material world that even if you want to do something, we cannot do. Even if you want to do chanting more than 20 rounds, we cannot chant. We cannot even if I want to come to temple every day, I cannot come. Because so much entangled in our own work, in the sansar, you know, we are stuck. So if you have opportunity, we should take advantage. And then Prahlad Maharaj gives all this nice, then glorify Vishnu, and then all become the devotee of Krishna. They start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now these two sons of Suklacharya become very angry. He comes and said, this is too much. Not only he is now spoiling the entire my school, everybody is becoming Krishna consciousness. So now he wants to take it to the next level, to remove this guy completely. Then he complains to Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu cannot tolerate this, and he asked, calls Prahlad Maharaj and Prahlad and said that he's very angry this time, and he says that is your Lord is everywhere? He says, yes, my Lord is. Prahlad Maharaj says, yes, my Lord is everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Prahlad Maharaj says, yes, he's in this pillar too. And then Hiranyakashipu, then we know that Hiranyakashipu smashed the pillar, and what happens? Avakara Kamalavare Nakamadvuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Then Hiranyakashipu, then Narsingadev appeared, and then what happens? Then there's a fight and kills Hiranyakashipu. Even though he keeps Lord appears in the form of half lion and half human, because he wants to keep the words of his devotee Brahmaji, and he takes the Narsingha avatar and kills, liberates Hiranyakashipu and for his devotee, and then Prahlad prays, and then this one nice prayer. I will listen this last prayer, and then we can come to the topic. So Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu is died, and Narsinga Dev, Lord Narsingha, asked Prahlad Maharaj that ask anything, any boon you ask anybody, he's very happy. And then he asked one thing. No, he says that na udvije paraduratyaya vaitaranya swadvirya gayana maha amrita magna chitta. He says very nice thing, these two lines. He says that, my dear Lord, I've learned the art to always think about your victorious pastimes. I always chant the glories about your victorious pastimes. Swat Virya Gaina. Virya means victorious, Gaina, reciting, glorifying. Maha Amrita, I'm getting so much bliss by listening your victorious all the pastimes, killing the Putana, killing Trinavrita, so many, right? Killing Kansa, Ravana, so many. And then Magna Chitta, I'm keeping always my mind in these pastimes, and I'm getting a lot of transcendental bliss. And because of this, even though I'm this material world, na udvije para duratya vaitaranyas. So even though this material world is the Vaitaranyas river, right? The Vaitaranya river is very hard to cross. So around the universe, material universe, there's a Vaitaranya river, right? It's very hard to cross over the material ocean. But he says, and I'm not in anxiety, even though I know it's very difficult to cross over, and it's everybody in the anxiety here in this material world, but because I've learned the art to always think about you, always think about your glories of victorious activities, I don't get anxiety. Very beautiful, right? So this is secret actually. If you think about Lord, if you hear about Lord all the time, listen about your Guru Maharaj Katha, listen about your Siksha Gurus giving Katha, listen about any devotee likes to give Katha, listen Bhagavatam, listen Bhagavad Gita, listen Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have unlimited ocean given by Prabhupada or Acharya. We can listen, right? And we can stay out of this anxiety. And then he says, last two lines is very important too. He says, Soche tato vimukha chetasa indriya arte maya sukham bharam udvahato vimudhan. Again, this verse came back. Vimudhan, these foolish people. Prabhupada will say rascal, right? But he says vimudhan is foolish people. These foolish people in this material world, they're so much into that indriya arthe, enjoy their senses, and they're looking for maya sukham, temporary happiness, flickering happiness, illusory happiness, and they're lifting very heavy weight. Bharam udvahato lifting. Bharam means weight, right? They're lifting very heavy weight. And I'm thinking about this, I get very compassion for this. My heart is very compassionate for that. So please give me the mercy so I can give them your mercy to them. Very beautiful, right? So Prahlad Maharaj is asking so nice that give me compassion for the fallen souls who are suffering in this material world. And I don't have any anxiety. So in Bhagavatam also, Canto 10, in 10, Sudama, when Krishna is going to Mathura, he meets Sudama. Sudama has prepared the nice garland for Krishna and Balram. They become very happy. They ask, we're very happy, Sudama. Ask something. What do you want? Anything you want. Sudama says, I want three things. Please, if you're happy, give me three things. First thing he says, give me unshakable bhakti, uninterrupted bhakti, unmotivated bhakti, right? Unto your lotus feet. Second, give me friendship with your pure devotees. Third, give me compassion for other living souls. Isn't it beautiful? Three things he has. So with this, I'll conclude my class. Sorry about, I said I'm over the time, 20 minutes. Sorry, Prabhu and Mataji. Sorry, Prabhu. Please correct me if I said something wrong. Please give me a suggestion or feedback or any questions. Any corrections? श्रीमद् भागवत ग्रंथ की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु की जय।
Okay.
आज
Anyone on the Zoom have a class, any question? I know we are late, but any question? Okay, no, I think. Sorry, I took more time than. Anyway, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Grateful for your class. Hare Krishna.